Well, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back for another video. So, in today's episode, we are going to be talking about the top 5 things I hate about my Volkswagen Golf R. Hopefully we can get this in before it starts pouring. You guys can't see up there, but it looks pretty ominous. Is that even a word? That's not a word. Anyway guys, so I've now had this car for a couple months and well, I've grown to love it and well, I've grown to hate it, but actually not really. It's actually a really awesome car. There are a few things, however, that maybe aren't so great. Now, I don't think these are honestly anything major, and this is all my opinion, so keep that in mind. Yeah, the sky is not looking great over in that direction. However, let's keep going and see if we can get this done. Alright, so let's get into the things that I dislike about the Golf R. Now, like I said, most of these are objective, but they are things that, unfortunately, I don't really like. And we're going to start with, well, I guess we'll start on the exterior here. Now, the main thing wrong with this car is that it doesn't come with a sunroof. As you can see here, there is nothing up here, and it kind of sucks that this car does not even offer a sunroof. While the GTI and the Euro models overseas are offered with a sunroof, this car does not come with one, and I think it just would have been a really nice package if it would have had one. Not a deal breaker or anything like that, but it kind of stinks that it doesn't come with a sunroof. Besides the sunroof, I really have no other gripes of the exterior on this car. It's not as aggressive as some of the competition, like the STI or the Type R or the Focus R. Basically, okay, it's not as aggressive as any of the competition, but that's a whole nother video of if you're buying this car, you're not really worried about that, and you're more trying to, I guess, blend in. So, for the rest of this video, we're actually going to be going on the interior.
The next day.
Alright, to the inside. For other things that I hate about this car. For one, gauge cluster. Don't hate about it. It's actually awesome. This is probably one of my favorite parts about the car. Hey, but that's a different video. So, in the interior here, obviously everything is well put together and well built. Very Audi-like, I would call, especially the steering wheel. So I got really not any complaints about the build quality or the design of the interior, because it's honestly one of my favorite parts about the car, which, like I said, is a different video. However, one of the things on the interior that I always thought was stupid was the center armrest on these cars. Now, all of you Volkswagen guys, or at least Golf R owners, know that from the factory, you actually cannot open the armrest for storage. It's locked. I know Volkswagen has some reason or whatever, but it's still silly that this is locked from the factory and you have no storage at all, and you actually have to go through an extra step just to open it. Now, I have, so there's a little extra storage that you normally would not get if you don't actually take an extra step to unbolt this from being closed. So I think that's kind of silly, not sure why they do it. It's a small thing. The next thing is going to be, I guess I would call it maybe the seat sensors. So every day when I drive this car, I have my lunch that I take to work with me. Now, it's usually a fairly heavy bag because I have drinks and stuff in there, and I always get in the car and I put my bag right on the seat. Now, it obviously only weighs maybe like, I don't know, 5 pounds or something like that. The sensors in the seat are so sensitive that it will set the seatbelt light off with barely any weight in the seat, which is super annoying because you guys know what happens if you're not wearing your seatbelt in a new car. It will just ding at you and ding at you and ding at you for like 10 minutes straight, when obviously there's nobody in the passenger seat. It was just that little bit of weight that's been set on there. So the next thing would be when it comes to the radio, and I hope I'm not missing something where I look like a fool, but you never know. So we're gonna turn the car on accessory mode here and just kind of we'll get the radio going. So with the radio on, this does have a Fender audio system. So normally, I feel like you obviously have your radio here, and you can switch between AM, FM, and kind of auxiliary or media or whatever else, which you can do on the screen here without a problem. I can hit the radio dial to go there and there. You can go to XM radio and that kind of stuff. So on most cars, they have a button on the steering wheel that will allow you to kind of switch those modes on the steering wheel without actually having to touch it. Now, it's a very minor inconvenience, I guess, but it's still kind of weird that every time I have to switch from XM radio to FM radio, I have to actually hit the radio button, and then I have to hit it again just to go back and forth. So It's an extra step that's kind of annoying. I wish there was a kind of a mode button just on the steering wheel that I could hit instead of having to push that radio button all the time. So the next thing is not going to be an OEM Volkswagen problem, but an actual problem with one of the APR parts on this car, and that is the exhaust. So let's get her started up here and I'll show you guys. So we got her started. Let's go outside. Now, I have the APR valved exhaust on this car. So it's a great exhaust, it sounds all right, and it is kind of nice to be able to go quiet and loud, quiet and loud. However, the issue is the rattling of the exhaust flaps. And I know other people have had this on their car and it bugs them as well. Take a listen. Can you guys hear that? That tinging? That's the exhaust flaps in the exhaust just kind of going back and forth. It's super annoying. Just hearing it idle, you can just hear it idle. Yeah, so that's one thing about this exhaust that I hate, and there's no way to fix it. I guess it comes with the territory, but it is something that does bug me about it because when you're just standing out here, it just annoys me. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about is the transmission, and don't get me wrong, brilliant transmission. I love it. This is the DSG for you who you guys are new to the channel and don't know. This is the DSG car. So the DSG overall, 98% of the time is a great transmission. It shifts fast. For the most part, it's pretty smooth. Really no major complaints about it. But if I'm going to make this video, I might as well mention it to people who are maybe in between the manual and the DSG. Now, like I said, it's only been a couple months, and like I said, 98% of the time, the transmission is fantastic. However, it does sometimes have some little hiccups. Now, when you're just kind of cruising around in the car and you do have it in manual mode, if you're not getting on the gas a decent amount, the upshifts, especially under, say, 4,000 RPM, can be a little bit sluggish compared to the upshifts when you're really on it and going in the upper rev range, or the downshifts, which are genuinely very fast. So it can be a little sluggish in that regard, and it can also be a little sluggish when it is in automatic mode and just out of nowhere you put your foot to the floor. There is a noticeable, I would say, I don't know, almost 2-second, maybe sometimes delay. The car is kind of figuring out, you know, kind of how fast you want to go maybe, and it's deciding what gear to put it in. But you can put your foot to the floor and literally be like 1 Mississippi, 2, okay, now we're going. So like I said, that is in the automatic mode, which I know can be a problem with other maybe automatic cars. So it's not, like I said, not a huge deal. It doesn't come up very often, but it is something I figured I would mention. So guys, that is going to be it for the, I don't even want to make this like a top 5. I don't even know what the title of this video is going to be, but that's it for the things that I kind of dislike or hate about the Volkswagen Golf R. So if you guys have anything else, leave it in the comments section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I really appreciate that. Like I said, more content is on the way. I hope you guys all have a great day. Thank you for watching, and we will see you all on the next video. Peace.